Now we see the module 2 elastic properties of material, where we see the elastic property, Hooke's law and factors affecting the elastic properties. Now what is Hooke's law? Hooke's law states that within the elastic limit of a body, stress varies directly as strain. That means stress is linearly proportional to strain. It increases linearly. So stress by strain is nothing but a constant denoted by E, where E is called the modulus of elasticity or coefficient of elasticity. Now look at the diagram over here. We get the stress and strain graph, where stress is along the y-axis and strain is along the x-axis. Now we see the stress and strain graph. Consider a material subjected to continuously varying load or stress. If we plot a graph of stress along the y-axis and strain along the x-axis, we get the stress and strain graph. Now if you look at this diagram here, strain is along the x-axis and stress is along the y-axis. O, P, Q, R, X and S. It is the curve. Linear relationship. Hooke's law states that stress is linearly proportional to strain. You can see that line. OP is a straight line which gives the linear relationship. P is called a proportionality limit, Q is the yield point, R is the plastic behavior, X is the ultimate strength and S is the fracture point. You can see clearly from Q to X it is a strain hardening, and from X to S it is a strain softening. And there is a permanent set, that is the dotted line from R to the x-axis, which is nothing but a permanent set. Now we see in detail this stress and strain diagram. Now, if you keep on increasing the stress, we see there is a strain along the x-axis. From the point O to P, stress is linearly proportional to strain, that is Hooke's law is being obeyed. So, the P is called as a proportionality limit, where Hooke's law is obeyed from O to P. If you increase the stress beyond P, the body is regaining to original shape, but the stress and the strain, it is not linear relationship. Linear means it is not a straight line. That means Hooke's law is not obeyed from P to Q. From O to P, Hooke's law is obeyed and P is called as a proportionality limit. Beyond P, if you increase the stress, what is happening? It is still an elastic body. It is regaining its original shape, but stress is not linearly proportional to strain. That means from P to Q, Hooke's law is not being obeyed. Between and Q is called as a yield point. Between Q and S, the body fails to regain its original length if external applied force is removed. From Q to S, the body is no longer coming back to the original position and it goes into a plastic behavior, and it is said to be called as a permanent set. You can see the dotted line where R is a plastic behavior. The dotted line to the x-axis gives you the plastic deformation. It is a permanent set. It is no longer coming back to the original position. Such a deformation is called as a plastic deformation. R is called as from point R plastic behavior starts, and Q is the yield point. Beyond Q, no longer an elastic behavior, it goes with a plastic behavior. Now beyond S, the body is no longer a single piece. That means beyond S, it is a fracture point. Body is no longer a single piece, it breaks into two pieces. Between Q and S, it is a plastic range divided into strain hardening and strain softening. That means from Q to X, you can see in the diagram, Q to X, that part is called as a strain hardening, and X to S is called as a strain softening. So there are two parts in the plastic behavior, strain hardening and strain softening. QX is strain hardening, X to S is a strain softening. X to X, from X to S, material weakens under reduced stress. You can see it is coming down. Material weakens. There is no longer, it is not able to do, it is coming to a negative slope, it is coming down rather than increasing of stress, it is reducing. So X to S material weakens under reduced stress, even though stress is reduced due to the strain softening. Because of strain softening effect, the curve is coming down, having a negative slope. And here in this graph, X is the ultimate strength until which it can hold. Beyond that, it will break up. So OP is the Hooke's law. O to P, Hooke's law is obeyed. P to Q, elasticity is there, but do not obey Hooke's law. That means linear relationship between stress and strain is not there. And from Q to R, the body will not regain its original shape after the removal of stress. So R is called as a plastic behavior, and X is the ultimate strength, and S is the fracture point. And this is the stress and strain graph. Now we have seen from Q to X is a strain hardening. Certain materials that are plastically deformed earlier are stressed again, show up an increased yield point. This effect is called as a strain hardening. What actually this sentence state is, you can see in this diagram where you have seen that R is a point where the plastic behavior starts, and you can see that yield point is between P and R, and it has been set into plastic behavior beyond R. Now if such type of a material is again stressed up, that means plastically deformed material which is stressed up again, you can see that yield point has been increased. Previously it was between P and R, now it has reached to R. You can see in the diagram, U is the increased yield point. The one which has plastically deformed is again stressed up, which gives rise to the increased yield point. You can see from the diagram, it was previously in between P and R, but now it has come to the point U, where along the y-axis the yield point has been increased. It is important industrial process that is used to harden metals or alloys which do not respond to the heat treatment. If the materials which are not responding to the heat treatment, such type of plastically deformed materials are again stressed up to get a better yield point. That means it can withstand to a higher stress. So this strain hardening is a process of making metal harder by plastic deformation. Next is a strain softening. For certain materials like concrete or soil, the curve will have a negative slope soon after the elastic region. As we have discussed in the stress and strain graph, we have seen that from X to S is the strain softening. That means even though stress is less, the strain is becoming more. When the stress is less also, strain is more. If you look at the diagram here, under reduced stress, there is an increment in the strain. This negative slope indicates that there is a softening effect of material over this range, and this is called as a strain softening. Now we will see the factors affecting the elastic properties. What are the factors? Rolling and hammering. You know what is meant by rolling and hammering. Rolling means you are rolling. You know what is the meaning of rolling. Rolling and hammering breaks the bonding in a material, which in turn increases the elastic property of the material. So elastic property can be increased by rolling or hammering the material. You can see hammering. A blacksmith keeps on hitting a metal piece on heating it. That is called as hammering, due to which breaks the bonding in the material, which increases the elastic property of the material. Temperature. Increase of temperature or increase of material. Temperature increase of material decrease the elasticity of the material. If you increase the temperature, elasticity will be decreased. Now there is one more called as adding impurities. Impurities added to the material may increase or decrease the elastic property of the material. The elasticity of the material increases if the elasticity of the impurity is more than that of a material. The elasticity of material decreases if the elasticity of the impurity is less than that of the material. So there are two cases. It can increase or it can decrease if the elasticity of impurity is more than that of the material. So there are two cases. It can be increased or decreased based on the impurity added. Annealing. It is an increase in the particle size and the material hardened, which in turn reduces the elasticity of the material. Annealing means it is a process of heating to a particular temperature and slowly cooling it down. Increase the particle size and material hardened, which in turn reduces the elasticity of the material. So annealing, these are some of the factors which are affecting the elastic properties. Rolling increases, temperature decreases, impurities, adding impurities may increase or decrease of elastic properties, and annealing, you can see, reduce the elasticity of the material. Thank you.